Advisory services are offered through Creative Financial Designs Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, and securities are offered through CFD. Investments Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer, member of FINRA and SIPC. 765-453-9600. Diamond Financial Group is not associated with the CFD companies.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jason Murphy, your host on Money in Motion right here on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. And I'm excited today to have my business partner is back with us in the studio, Daryl Phillips, and we're going to be talking about quite a few things, but I just want to remind you real quick that you can reach out to us with any questions you have about finance. If you have questions from any of my guests about any of my shows or any topic that we raise, please feel free to reach out to us. You can call us at 646-4090. That's 646-4090. You can Google Diamond Financial Group. You can come see us right beside Poets, right there on the square on Broad Street. And we would love to answer your questions, help you work through any issues or any concerns, anything that's going on. But I'm really excited. I got to tell you all, Daryl Phillips, not only is he one of my best friends in the world, he's my hunting buddy, he's my business partner, but he is also my person that I go to make sure that I am up to speed on the latest and greatest knowledge of what's going on in the market. It's something that he is extremely talented at doing, at researching, and he knows what sources are credible and what sources are not. It's amazing how much information is out there on the internet, and I'm constantly seeing articles pop up in my email address on the internet when I'm out there looking and Googling different things. There's a lot of information that is available, and there's a lot of people who have opinions and want to share what they think is going to happen next. And so you have to be able to look at all that. But what Daryl does, what my business partner and what we try to do at Diamond Financial Group is not just listen to the naysayers and the people that are out there throwing out their opinions. We look for a technical analysis of the market, and we compare it to past histories of the market. And we try to give you educated resources and educated opinions of what we truly believe is going to happen in the market. So today, once again, the stock market, this last week anyway, the stock market has hit several all-time record highs, with the Dow at over 23,000. I mean, just a year ago, people would have never believed that to be possible. The market is up over 20% since Trump's victory, and volatility in the market, that's the ups and downs of the market, is essentially non-existent. Daryl, what are you telling our clients to do who are worried about the market being overvalued? And is it common for the market to behave this way?
Well, thanks for having me on, Jason. I love talking about this. And I tell you what, let's save the answer to your first question to the end of the show. So stay tuned, because I'm going to share with you a tool that we use that has turned red prior to the last 7 recessions, and you'll want to know where it is now. You also ask if it's common for markets to behave this way?
Right.
The answer is a resounding no. I've been advising clients going on 18 years, and I've never seen such complacency in the stock market. Listen to this article from USA Today. I think it puts it in perspective. This is dated July 20th of this year, but I'm going to update it to today. Reading the article, it states stocks keep hitting new highs in an unusually calm market that hasn't flashed a fasten your seatbelt warning in over a year. The U.S. stock market hasn't suffered a 5% drop. That's the common definition of a pullback since the Brexit vote shocked investors in late June of last year. And that was 268 trading days ago. Now we add 66 trading days to that. As of today, 334 trading days since just a pullback in the market. And the broader stock market hasn't gone that long without a scare since the mid-1990s, when the S&P index ended a pullback-free streak of 394 days in July of 96.
Wow.
It's only the 6th time since 1950 that the S&P has made it at least a year without a 5% drop.
Wait, say that one more time.
It's only the 6th time since 1950.
Since 1950, okay.
That the S&P has made it a whole year without a 5% drop.
Wow.
And it was quoted in this article as this is one of the most sleepy markets in history.
Wow.
Now, if we make it, and it looks like we might, if we make it till January 17th of next year,
right,
just 3 months from now,
right,
this will go down as the longest streak in history without a garden variety pullback of 5%.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. And here's another set of data that bothers me that was just released this week from Dr. Ed Yardeni. He's often on CNBC. He's highly quoted, highly published author. He does a lot of analytical research for large institutions, highly regarded.
So we could say he is a world-renowned economist.
He
right.
is.
Okay.
This report is full of graphs, which I enjoy, but the one I'm looking at here is Bulls versus the Bears, and it goes back 30 years. It goes all the way back before the big crash in 1987, which, by the way, this week was the 30-year anniversary.
That's right. That's right. Of Black Monday.
That's Black Monday.
Right.
And right now, I showed you this chart this morning. Right now, as of this month, there's only been one time in the last 30 years that there were more bulls than there are bears. Right now, there's 4 bulls, and that's a bull is someone who's optimistic about the market going higher. A bear is the opposite of that. So there's four bulls for every one bear.
Okay.
And you've heard me often say when everybody gets on one side of the fence tends to fall over.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean that's about to happen in the next month or two, but based on history, well, for example, in 2007, when the real estate bubble burst, there were only 3 bulls for every bear. In the year 2000, when the tech bubble burst, there were only 2.5 bulls for every bear. So we're in an uncharted territory here. Does all this mean the stock market's about to crash? So before we answer that, I'd like to spend some time addressing the plethora of crash theories floating around on the internet. This is something I have to deal with often. Clients calling and asking my opinion about some doomsday article they just read on the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's things like that pop up all the time. I get calls almost daily myself, Daryl, and I know you do, from our clients that are out there concerned about what's going on in the market. And so when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more, well, not a little bit, we're actually going to talk a lot more on this next segment, specifically about this topic of the doomsdayers that are talking about the negativity of the market, people that have been telling you that the market is about to crash, and they've been saying this for 3, 4, 5 years, that the market is about to come to a detriment, to an end. And so I look forward to you listening to our next segment right after this break from our sponsors. Right here, you are listening to Money in Motion on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
Congratulations, you found a home for sale that interests you on the internet.
Is it really as great as you think it is?
Is the asking price in line with the current market values?
Will owning this home allow you to continue enjoying life as you know it?
Are there more homes in the area you may like better? To unlock the mystery of home buying, you need a professional realtor. You need the Wilson team at the Realty Firm. Our experienced and highly trained team of realtors will take the guesswork out for you.
Buying a home is a process, and the Wilson team at the Realty Firm will walk with you every step of the way, making your needs our top priority.
The only house we want to help you buy is the one you can be proud of.
The one you can call home knowing you took every step to ensure it will bring joy to you and your family for years to come.
Call Darren Wilson at the Realty Firm at 931-520-7750 or find them at www.therealtyfirmagent.com. The Wilson team will put you on the path to owning the right home for you.
Are you turning 65 in the next year? Are you already on Medicare? Do you have questions about Medicare insurance? Because let me tell you, it can be confusing. Open enrollment is upon us, October 15th through December 7th. And let me tell you about a friend of mine, Mike Townsley of Diamond Financial Group, right beside Poets on the Square, is a Medicare expert. He can help you navigate the different ways that you can enroll in Medicare, from Medicare only, Medicare with a Medicare supplement, or Medicare Advantage. He can also help you deal with Part D plans, which are prescription drug plans, and help you navigate those rough waters. Mike Townsley is an independent insurance advisor, which means he screens various insurance companies for quality and service ratings so that he can give you the best prices and the best service available in the industry. He's been in business for over 23 years, and I can assure you, you will not find find a better man of integrity that can help you with your Medicare needs. Call 646-4090. That's 646-4090 for all your Medicare needs.
Protecting your home or business is important to you. That's why you might invest in an advanced security system or make sure you have the strongest locks on the market. But what are you doing about the sun? That big yellow ball of fire is shooting UV rays through your windows that can fade furniture and increase your energy costs. Fortunately, the Window Tint Company in Cookeville can provide you with a championship-level solution, offering multiple lines of window film for any need. The Window Tint Company is the Upper Cumberland's expert when it comes to protecting your home or business from blinding glare or damaging UV rays. And you'll still be able to admire those beautiful Middle Tennessee sunrises and sunsets. When you're ready to protect your home or business from the sun, give Jason and Susie with the Window Tint Company a call at 931-510-0830. That's 931-510-0830. Visit CookevilleWindowTintCompany.com to learn more or request an estimate.
Welcome back to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy from Diamond Financial Group right here on Money in Motion. You're listening to News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. And we've been talking with my business partner, Daryl, about the market and this amazing ride that we have been on. I mean, there's some industries of the market that are up over 40% this year. The general market overall is up 20%, but there's continues to be people in the market and on the internet where you're reading things and they keep talking about how the end of the economy as we know it is coming and to get out of the market. And they've been screaming this, by the way, for not just months, but for years, so that eventually we will have another correction. We will have another recession. It's going to happen, people. And so you need someone that's in your corner that can help watch your money and help prepare your portfolio for that. And that's one of the things that we do, and we do it very, very well at Diamond Financial Group, and would love for you to stop by and actually see with a in-depth conversation that we can't really give you all that information over the radio in just a few minutes. We need you to come by so we can show you the tools that we use to actually prove to you how we help you navigate the market. So it's interesting, Daryl, that you did say that all these articles are out there. I've just seen another one this morning on the internet describing the next market drop to be similar to that of the Great Depression. And they're warning you, get out of the stock market right now. So how do you deal with these conspiracy theorists that many people tend to believe just because they read it on the internet?
Well, that's a really good question. What we need here is some basic education first. In Psychology 101, we learned about this negativity bias. How many of you had a job performance evaluation where your boss sang your praises, but then right at the end, your boss said, but there is one area you can improve on? When you left that meeting, Jason, what's the only thing you were thinking about?
Well, the negative comment.
Well, see, you chose not to focus on all the positives,
right,
but instead locked in on the one negative. And this is just the way our brain is wired. Wikipedia defines a negativity bias as this: the notion that even when of equal intensity, things of a more negative nature, unpleasant thoughts, emotions, or traumatic events, so things of a more negative nature have a greater effect on one's psychological state than do neutral or positive things. I like to use this phrase to describe it: the whole is more negative than the sum of its parts. And we're bombarded every day with people pushing their negative energy through the media, newspapers, newsletters, magazines, books, and from the source of all that is true, which is the internet. Well, if you read it on the internet, then it must be true, right?
Right.
Well, let me read to you these headlines taken off the internet.
Okay.
Warning, your stocks may be in danger. Prepare for an aftershock of the 2008 crisis. Here's one. Critical alert. The economy is about to get annihilated. I just released a video with indisputable proof that the greatest crash in history could strike in the next few days. In fact, this event will be so devastating, I'm convinced it will trigger the greatest depression we've ever seen.
Wow.
Here's another one. Dow heading for historic drop. Take immediate action. We'll see a historic drop to 6,000. Now, keep in mind, it's at 23 now. And when the dust settles, it'll plummet to 3,300. Considering his near-perfect track record of predicting economic events, take action to protect yourself now.
Wow. So these were what, last week?
These appeared the month of March in 2015. 2.5 years ago.
Wow.
If you had believed these doomsdayers and naysayers back then and bailed out the stock market into cash, what would you have missed? The S&P has gone up over 20% in the past 2.5 years, and your cash, it might have earned 2%. So let's take a look at a couple more recent articles. Here's one from June of last year regarding the Brexit event.
Okay.
Because I had several clients calling me in a panic about this event. So listen to what some very credible people had to say about this shocking event. You likely saw the value of your portfolio plummet this past week. Last week, we saw the first major domino fall in the shell game of fiat currency. Great Britain voted to leave the European Union, and the nation's highest officer, Prime Minister David Cameron, resigned. The most important thing to understand is that the EU, the world's largest economy, has failed, and its shared currency, the euro, is next. Already, France is calling for Frexit, and Netherlands want their Nexit. Make no mistake, the panic is here. Following last week's vote, the pound plunged to its lowest level in 30 years. The euro followed suit. Terrified investors dumped stocks. The Dow fell nearly 900 points in 2 days. Welcome to a new period of extreme volatility. Many market experts are forecasting a recession, or even worse, a full-blown crisis. And listen to this. Billionaire hedge fund manager George Soros, who recently turned to trading after a long hiatus to make giant bets against the stock market, wrote in a recent article, the consequences for the real economy will be comparable only to the crisis of 2007 and 2008. And former Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan, who understands the global monetary system better than anyone else alive, told CNBC, June of last year, Jason, quote unquote, this is the worst period I recall since I've been in public service. Nothing like it, including the crisis October 19th, 1987, when the Dow went down a record 23%. That, I thought, was the bottom of all potential problems. I don't know how it's going to resolve, but there's going to be a crisis. Make no mistake, the UK is just the first domino to fall. Now, what if you had sold out of the stock market the day Brexit happened last year and went all to cash? The S&P has increased 25% since that scary day, and your cash still sitting there losing money because you're not keeping up with inflation. And now here's one last article from June of this year. So here's something more current. Headline, once in a lifetime crash coming in the next 3 years, and the top of the stock market could come as soon as this summer. Financial advisors must help their clients avoid what he calls a once in a lifetime reset, similar to the Great Depression. Eventually, these doomsdayers and naysayers will be right, because our economy will most certainly tip into a recession again one day. And when that happens, they'll shout from the rooftops just how right they were, and they predicted it just days before it happened. Sure they did. And the year before that, and the year before that, right. And the year before that, and so on. But they won't remind you of how long they've been wrong. So here's my point. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. You remember, Jason, we did a couple of financial seminars during the summer of 2015 and actually addressed this very issue of the negativity bias and why you shouldn't believe everything you read on the internet. Do you remember we took a bold stance against these doomsdayers and said this bull market won't end until we enter the phase of euphoria and this indicator turns red? Would you agree? Based on what we've been seeing, we're in a phase of euphoria.
I believe that we're now starting to enter that phase of euphoria. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. You don't want to miss this next segment. We've been talking with Daryl Phillips on Money in Motion, News Talk 107.7 from Diamond Financial Group, and I'm just excited about the additional information. So remember the information at the beginning of the show today, where we're going to answer that question when we come back after a word from our sponsors right here on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
In our modern, fast-paced lifestyle, we've learned to cut corners to save time. Sadly, we've resorted to cheaper, easier, faster methods of preparing food, eliminating the handmade, healthy element of baking and cooking. This is not true at Great Harvest Bread Company. Great Harvest has been baking bread the way it ought to be made from the beginning, using pure, simple ingredients. They still bake everything from scratch. They still fresh mill their 100% whole grain flour every day. Their parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents were concerned about food tasting great weight and nourishing their families' bodies. Great Harvest upholds those values even today. Over the years, the fine folks at Great Harvest have been able to adapt to the wants and needs of their customers, offering not just a vast variety of breads, but also scrumptious rolls and spreads. They even serve a full lunch menu that caters to almost every eating lifestyle. The bottom line is this, my friends. Great Harvest Bread Company offers great tasting products fit for any lifestyle without compromising the original vision of their family. Great Harvest bread is simple, handmade and wholesome. Tasty bread, the way it ought to be. Visit them Jefferson Avenue in Cookeville to experience a break from all the other cheap imitations.
When we at Diamond Financial Group decided to open our new office, I knew I wanted to update my new computer, so I went to the professionals at the Computer Doctor in Sparta to discuss my needs. They took the time to find the perfect combination of professionalism and portability I wanted to effectively and efficiently do my job. In addition to great customer service, they also saved my business money by providing us with a state-of-the-art phone system that will surpass our business needs. Since then, the professionals there have always delivered every time I had a technological need. Call my friends at the Computer Doctor for your personal and commercial needs at 837-4357 or go see them at 180 Churchill Drive in Sparta. Again, their phone number is 837-4357.
646-5519. Those numbers may not mean a whole lot to you right now, but you're going to want to write this number down. My name is Jennifer. My husband and I, we're frugal people. While we like to get a lot of value for our money, to say the least, we stretch every dollar. So last year, we decided that we wanted to refinance a mortgage on our house. We did our research, and that's when I met Barbara Steeving. Her official title is loan officer. She's not just thorough, not just thoughtful. She actually anticipated my family's needs throughout the whole process of the refinance. And trust me, folks, when I say they were tricky needs. She was just amazing. Can't say enough about it. By the time the process was over, I called her my friend. You can be friends with Barbara. All you need to do is go to Willow Avenue in Cookeville next to Jackson Plaza and go into First Volunteer Bank and tell my friend Barbara Steeving that you're there to save money, and she will do it for you. The number is 646-5519. So stop by First Volunteer Bank and see Barbara Steeving.
Member FDIC insured and equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Jason Murphy with Money in Motion. I want to tell you about a friend of mine, Tammy Smith with Master My Score right here in Cookeville. You see, she's a credit consultant and helps people get their credit score up so you can buy that next house or an automobile. I recommend my clients call Tammy Smith to fix their credit score. For more information, go to mastermyscore.com or call 996-7375. That's 996-7375.
Congratulations! You found a home for sale that interests you on the internet.
Is it really as great as you think it is?
Is the asking price in line with the current market values?
Will owning this home allow you to continue enjoying life as you know it?
Are there more homes in the area you may like better? To unlock the mystery of home buying, you need a professional realtor. You need the Wilson team at the Realty Firm. Our experienced and highly trained team of realtors will take the guesswork out for you.
Buying a home is a process, and the Wilson team at the Realty Firm will walk with you every step of the way, making your needs our top priority.
The only house we want to help you buy is the one you can be proud of.
The one you can call home knowing you took every step to ensure it will bring joy to you and your family for years to come.
Call Darren Wilson at the Realty Firm at 931-520-7750 or find them at www.therealtyfirmagent.com. The Wilson team will put you on the path to owning the right home for you.
Welcome back to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy from Diamond Financial Group, and you're listening to News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. And we've been talking with my business partner, Daryl Phillips, giving you a lot of information. I do want to remind you that we do have a Facebook page, Money in Motion. You can look us up. You can access my webpage from the Facebook page to listen back to any of my shows, including this one. And we have given you so much information, so much valuable information that some of you may want to listen back and even take some notes about some of the information that we're giving you, especially during this last segment. So without further ado, I want to get right back to Daryl to make sure that he can fully give the rest of the information that he wanted to, and I probably will have some follow-up questions coming to reiterate some of the points that he's going to make. But right now, we had just finished talking about the negativity bias. We had just finished talking about some of of the euphoric phase is what we left off with, talking about how you're not ever really going to go into a recession until the market goes into this euphoric phase. So surely I truly understand what you're talking about there, but I'm not sure our listening audience does. And so now for the really exciting part, where I want you to tell us about this indicator, but I do want you to explain quickly, and this may be kind of impromptu, about the euphoric phase and what that even means. What is this roller coaster of emotions that the market goes through?
Every bull market, history tends to repeat itself, and every bull market in history has ended with euphoria. Okay. And euphoria means where people are throwing caution to the wind, and they just have to buy everything because the market appears to be going in one direction, and it appears that it's never going to stop. Right. So it pulls everybody in. And once it's pulled everybody in, that's when it jerks the rug out from under them. Okay. And that's the way every bull market has ended. So, in the beginning, I said I'm going to share with you a tool we use that has turned red prior to the last 7 recessions. And you want to know where it is now? It's called the Conference Board Leading Economic Index. It's comprised of key elements in an analytic system designed to signal peaks and troughs in the business cycle. Right. See, the business cycle runs through 4 periods. And it starts over and over again. We have expansion, peak, contraction, and trough. Right now, one could argue we're either in the latter part of an expansion or early part of a peak cycle. And here's some components of this index. Now, there's 10 of them. I won't read them all, but this index is made up of things like building permits. So how many building permits are being issued each month is a good indicator of our economy expanding.
Nationwide, correct.
Sure. It takes into fact actual stock prices, interest rates, average consumer expectations for business conditions, manufacturers' new orders for consumer goods and materials, how many people are filing for unemployment. So all 10 of these is put into one number. So as long as the number remains positive, then the economy is expanding. When the number turns negative or goes red, as we say, then we're entering into a phase of contraction or recession, as we often call it. This indicator has turned red before every recession the past 50 years.
Wow.
Now, we know that no one rings a bell when the market tops or bottoms, and we're definitely not into making those predictions like doomsdayers and naysayers. However, this indicator, along with several others we monitor that we don't have time to mention right now, help us know when to reach out to our clients to reassess their risk tolerance and prepare for higher volatility. And it's interesting to note this indicator has stayed positive since the middle of 2009, despite 3 nasty corrections during that time.
Wow.
So this is a recession indicator. It's not a correction indicator.
Okay.
And to define a correction means that the market has to fall 10%, but no more than 20%.
Okay.
And as we were talking earlier, anything less than 10% is just a pullback.
Right.
So we were talking about 5% pullbacks. Well, it's just a pullback. It's not a correction.
Okay.
So now let's answer your first question, Jason. What am I telling my clients who are worried about the market is overvalued right now? It's very difficult to say when the next 10 to 20% correction will hit. And we're certainly overdue one, but corrections come and go on average about every 1.5 years, and that's just part of investing. As far as that recession lingering on the horizon, the event that we all dread will steal our wealth and bring back those sleepless nights. Our indicator tells us it won't happen within the next few months, but when it does turn red, wouldn't it be nice to have an advisor that will give you a call?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so do you have an advisor right now that, let's say you had that advisor during the Great Recession, which happened in 2008. Did they give you a call? Did you get a warning, a call from your advisor saying, hey, you might want to reconsider your stance, your aggressive stance in the market right now based on what's coming? Do you have an advisor that is actually showing you charts, graphs, specific, easy to understand, and provable concepts that tell you when you need to kind of change your risk tolerance in the market? What, Daryl, real quick, touch on risk tolerance and what that means. We have about 2 more minutes left. So tell people a little bit about risk tolerances and talk to that, please.
Well, the first thing we do when we bring on a new client is assess their risk tolerance or their ability to withstand pullbacks or corrections.
Right.
So we have a pretty neat process that we go through there that will help identify what they're comfortable with.
Right.
Now, the crazy thing about that is, most people are comfortable taking on more risk in a market right now because it's been so long since we had a pullback in the market. They're like, I can handle a pullback. But when they get here, they can't handle it so well.
Right.
So we have a good process to help put them in a lane where I feel like they can handle a pullback and a correction.
Right.
However, that risk tolerance, of course, it will change with events in your life, with jobs, with changing homes, increasing debt, decreasing debt. A lot of things can change risk tolerance. But what we're talking about here is when we get a signal, and you mentioned the word navigate, no one rings a bell when that market hits a top or a bottom. So our goal is to help you navigate the market.
Right.
And when these technical and fundamental indicators suggest that it's time you change your risk tolerance, you may be moderately aggressive most of the time. And you may have been since 2009. A lot of my clients are.
Right.
And they're having a wonderful year this year. But when this turns red, you might not want to be moderately aggressive for a while.
Exactly.
So that's what I mean by reaching out and having that discussion and say, hey, maybe we need to move you back to moderate or moderately conservative based on the things that we're looking at. And what prompted us to do that back in the last recession, January the 8th of 2008, long before the actual crash in the market. These indicators made us pick up the phone and start calling our clients.
That's right.
It's coming. It's coming again. We don't know when, but it's coming again. So
right. And so we're not telling you to get out of the market right now,
No.
but what we are telling you to do is make sure you have an advisor that will pick up the phone and tell you when it's time to make that move and to try to change your risk tolerance to make sure and protect those hard-earned dollars that you spent so much time gathering. So, hey, this has been a great show. Daryl, thank you so much for being on Money in Motion. This has been awesome. Stop by and see me and Daryl at Diamond Financial Group right there on the square beside Poets. Again, I'm your host, Jason Murphy, and you've been listening to News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
Advisory services are offered through Creative Financial Designs Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, and securities are offered through CFD. Investments Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer, member of FINRA and SIPC. 765-453-9600. Diamond Financial Group is not associated with the CFD companies.